Alright, I just wanted to make one more observation as far as our setup here. What I have here is a 1mm pick. The pick is 1mm thick. It fits nice and neat right here in between the two saddles. You dig? That should not do that. Now this right here is a radius gauge, whatever you want to call it, and you'll notice it says 7.25 on it. That means that's the radius of this guitar. That's how these strings should be rolling across here at that radius, at that curvature. Now I will just enough to hold this thing on here. Now I'm hoping the camera shows, but if I sit this on here, it should mute the strings for the most part. So let's see what we got. I'm not pushing down, I'm not nothing, just like that. Here's your low E string. Okay, it's on the low E string. Here's your A string. Ain't touching the A string. Here's your D string. Ain't touching the D string. Here's your G string. Ain't touching the G string. Here's your B string. Touching the B, and here's your little e. So the only two strings following this radius would be the B, and what do we say, the D? No, the E and the B. Oh, the only two strings that are actually within the radius. So in other words, this string here and this string here are high, the rest of these are low. This one here is real super low. This is the setup that was given to me for my pleasure. I just wanted to share that with you. Again, we'll get it worked out. What you think, boy? What you think, huh? Come here. Aww, he's such a sweet boy. He's so well-mannered. He's such a fine fellow. Welcome back to Love Child Reviews, where we're going to be part 2 of the Brent Mason Telecaster Sweetwater edition, unboxing, unveiling, and etc. What do you think, Elmer? You can't wait, huh, buddy? Let's go see your girlfriend. Let's go. Huh? Huh? All right, buddy. Hello everybody, this is your love child. You are here with me today as I continue the review, part 2, as I review the Brent Mason Fender Telecaster guitar unboxing, demo, etc., etc. As you remember, I abruptly ended part number 1 with my head in my hands, and I was in a valley of decision. And so I'm going to explain everything that has transpired with this beautiful guitar here. In the first video, we unboxed it. We showed how Sweetwater boxed it. I explained my purpose in buying the guitar, and everything was good up until the point where, to be honest with you, sound like a used car salesman. You know, you catch somebody they lying when every time they speak, they have to say, well, to be honest with you, well, to tell you the truth, if they got to qualify everything they say, you better not marry them. You better not buy a car from them. But anyway, in all honesty, there you go. That's a good one. I can get away with that one. We got some issues with the guitar. Some big, some not so big, but let me explain my premise for the part 2 and why I consider it of urgency to have this part 2. This guitar, if you were to have it sent to your door today with a retail price and the service that I had put on it, plus state tax, this is a $3,600 bill right here. $3,600 guitar right here. You might shop around and get a little bit cheaper somewhere, but again, you're looking at $3,600 unless you bump into some kind of deal. Brand new, delivered to the door. So for me, $3,600 is the equivalent of several house payments. And to me, that's a little significant. For me, if you're like me, and you probably are, something that costs $3,600 or thereabouts should be ready to go. Don't you think? So in the last video, I was waxing eloquent on Sweetwater and their customer service, and I'm still in their corner. We have just even moments ago or hours ago discussed this situation, and we're trying to find the perfect Cinderella story. So that means this video is going to have to require a part 3. Part 3 is when we're going to find out where the doo-doo hit the fan, how the cookie crumbled, and if the ex-wife's mother ended up singing or not. Part 3 will be the most fascinating part 3 in the history of YouTube or of the whole wide world. Let me qualify also what I'm saying. I ain't mad at Sweetwater. Listen, people make mistakes. You know, maybe the process of handling this guitar and getting it to me, you know, the dude, you know, it's possible that you might have put a little extra fentanyl in your coffee that day, or maybe the old lady, just was fussing at you all the way out the door. I've made mistakes. And just to show you, you know, your love child is a fine, reasonable man. Here on the screen is a picture of an automobile. Yeah, everybody knows that I'm the king of the carburetors. I own Love Child's used carburetor emporium. I have the largest used carburetor dealership in the state of Alabama, or at least in Knoxpater. But one day I worked on this car for this girl. I should have never touched it because it was fuel injected. But she was kind of cute, and it was her prize car, and I felt like being a hero to somebody. And well, as you can see, I made a mistake. So mistakes happen. So with that bearing in mind, we're going to go on with the video. One other thing, there are people that watch these videos that will leave a comment, and if you let me say it this way. During this video, I'm going to mention a few particular things, especially as they pertain to guitar setup and etc. And if there's something you disagree with or you think I'm wrong, feel free to comment below. You know, if you want to be kind, be kind. If you want to be ignorant, be ignorant. That's fine. Ignorant. That's how ignorant people say ignorant. But anyhow, feel free to leave a comment, because you may teach me something. I'm just going off of what Love Child knows, and what I see, and etc. etc. So yeah, I'm not here trying to be no expert on nothing. I'm an expert on my money, and I'm an expert on what I expect to receive for something with a price tag like this. You know, I could have bought a lot of used quadrujets for that. But anyway, first issue I had with the guitar, and again, part 3, I will do a complete rundown on the guitar as if it came out of the box perfect, and then we will see how this ends up. I'm anticipating a Cinderella story, okay? But Sweetwater, again, is a great company. I bought a lot of stuff off of them. This is the very first brand new guitar I've ever bought off of Sweetwater. I don't buy a lot of new guitars. I do, but I don't. I buy a lot of used stuff. I flip them. I keep some, whatever. But this is the very first brand new guitar I ever bought off of them, utilizing the Plek process as well as utilizing their setup. And there the twain met. and brought us to this juncture. But now Sweetwater is a company that prides itself on a 55-point inspection on all guitars over a certain dollar amount. I think $399, something like that. And if I think of it, I'll put a list here while I'm talking of the things that they check. Well, in this case, whoever was doing the 55-point setup couldn't count that high. Now, the first thing that I noticed in the last video when I went off camera to warm up the amplifier, get the guitar ready to demo, one of the first things I noticed was not a big deal. Matter of fact, I pretty well remedied the situation. But again, price tag, with the price tag being considered on something like this, something as simple as, in my opinion, this particular guitar right here, to utilize the B-bender, you have to have a Dunlop strap lock. Well, we'll call that the male member. And it has to go into the female member of the guitar. And so the male goes into the female, and the strap is hooked on the male, and that's what you put in there to hook the strap to it. Now, when I first got this, I have two of these strap locks included, and neither one you could push in with your finger. Now I've worked them and with some persuasion and love and whatever, they do work. But to come out of the case, out of the box, look, I'm gonna be honest with you folks. Like I said, ain't nobody mad. I ain't mad at Sweetwater. Sweetwater ain't mad at me, and none of us are mad at Brent Mason. Okay, we ain't blaming Brent Mason for none of this. I blame him for the quarter panel on my guitar or on my car. But if he hadn't been playing, I wouldn't have had that pretty girl sitting on my lap, and her old man wouldn't have showed up, and I wouldn't have had to get pit maneuvered. But that's another story. Anyhow, ain't nobody mad. I'm just going to tell this video. I'm going to say it like it is. So, yeah, I have this problem. People trust me because I'm so handsome and so good looking like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every time I show this profile on stage or people just, they just love me. And no, my daddy is not Tom Jones. Y'all keep getting confused. My daddy ain't Tom Jones. My daddy ain't Jerry Lee Lewis. You know who my daddy is, and quit trying to be funny about it. All right. So anyhow, this guitar is a beautiful guitar still. The electronics are playing well. Everything's working like it should. I'm going to shut the camera down a second, and we're going to get into some of the issues. Hardware notwithstanding, I've taken care of that. But some of the issues as far as playability, and that will be the main function of our woe today. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I've got the guitar, got some juice put to it through a Princeton reverb amplifier. Everybody that loves Princeton reverb amplifiers, raise your hand. That's me, buddy. They're a sweet little thing. So here's what I've done. I've set the amplifier volume, tone, bass. I think they're all like 4 or 5. That's what I usually run the Princetons at. There ain't no reverb, ain't no tremolo on it. I've got the guitar as clean as I can get it. I'm going to put it on the bridge pickup. No fancy pickups involved here in the middle. As clean as I can get it to demonstrate some of the issue and some of the woe. Again, $3,600 gig right here. Super duper pro Plek setup of a lifetime. Reminds me of that movie Porky's. Here comes your night to remember. Here comes your setup to remember. Don't worry, I'm going to get you all the intricate details. But for instance, these are the strings, right? That's your little E. Just singing away, right? Here's your big E. Got a nice little rasp to it. A little bit metallic. Let's talk about the Big E just a minute. Intonation a little bit to be desired, but you know, you can fix that. It's not the worst thing in the world. If you get on a little hard, now that's the problem. Anyhow, that can be fixed with a good setup, which we don't have here. Now, we got the little E, got the big E. Here's your A, singing like a bird. Here's your D string, singing like a bird right there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you hear that? You know, I was supposed to be in a studio a few days ago with this guitar. And if I walk in the booth and I play an E chord, that engineer's going to throw something at the glass and kick me out, throw the guitar right behind me. Now, as far as playing on stage this weekend, unless I just dirty the sound and go play in a grunge band, this guitar just not going to cut it. So we got setup issues. And I'm going to explain a little bit more of those to you. And again, here's where other people's opinions and comments may come into play, and they may not ever come into play. I'm just telling you how it is. Me and Sweetwater, we the grown-ups in the room, we're making provisions. By the time this video is dropped, that's professional YouTube terms for by the time you get to see this video on YouTube, it will already be in the hands of the UPS fella and headed on back to Sweetwater, where they are going to put their very best man on the job. You hear me? They're going to the A team on this bad boy. So anyhow, beautiful guitar, bad setup. There's some other issues with the setup. Might need a little surgery. I'll explain that here in a minute. Alright, where am I going with this? I demonstrated the lack of playability. Everything else beautiful. Now let's talk about the setup. Somewhere on here, I'm going to put a picture of the, it's called your saddles right here. I'm going to put a picture of the saddles. And right now you should be looking on your left-hand side will be a picture of this guitar prior to the Plek and setup, Super Duper setup from Sweetwater. This is a picture that they took themselves of the guitar. When you buy a guitar from Sweetwater, you can actually pick out the guitar you want. And this guitar here in my hands was the one I looked at and wanted because of the way everything lined up so pretty at the time. So on your left hand side is what it looked like prior to the Super Duper Pro Plek setup, and the one on the right is what it looks like now. Capiche? Something ain't quite right in Denmark. Actually, we're not in Denmark. We're in Knox, Pater, Alabama. So that's issue number one. Now let's go up to the top of the guitar, and I will include pictures of what is called the nut. Now in the Super Duper Pro Plek setup process, they also do this super fantastic bubble plastic cutting of the nut, because this is aerospace technology and stuff done to make this guitar play buttery smooth as they advertise. And so on your left hand side will be a picture of the nut as per their photographer before setup, and on your right hand side will be a picture of the nut after the Super Duper ultrasound ultra fantastic setup. My suggestion to the powers that be at the Sweetwater folks is you're going to have to probably replace that nut, because somebody done cut the dog mess out of it. most likely your Super Duper Pro Plek machine. Just being honest, folks. And don't shoot the messenger if you don't like the message. I'm just saying it how it is. This is what we're looking at. But this is what I'm trusting Sweetwater to help us work out. And, you know, if they come through like they say they're going to, you know, they will be people of their word. So that's some of the issue with the guitar. I'm going to have to set the guitar down a minute. And I'm going to give you a little bit more of an audio-visual demonstration of what we're looking at on some other technological aspects. And I'm going to try to get us out of this video fairly soon. We ain't been rocking and rolling that long, but we'll try to get us out of here real soon, so we can hurry up and get this thing packed up and go to part number 3, and hopefully Cinderella will show up in a guitar case. You hear me? No, I ain't naming this guitar Cinderella. I don't name guitars, but boy, I tell you what. That's beautiful, man. Oh, by the way, the B-bender works splendidly as well once you get your little male members erected into the female member the proper way. Let me be right back. We're going to look a little bit further into the actual bridge, saddle, etc. setup, and I'm sure that you will be highly impressed as well as I am. I'll be right back. Well, anyhow, I cut right there just to show you me packing it up, send her back to Sweetwater, and y'all say a prayer for me and Sweetwater and the UPS man handling this beautiful thing. Again, whatever I wanted, they were willing to work with me on, and I'm hopeful. And now, just for the fun of it, we're going to make sure we include everything that we opened up in the first segment. There's the 2 empty string packs, the strings that I paid for. Here's the thing that said where they did such a great job on the Pro Plek adjustment, Plek Pro adjustment, guitar setup, fixed bridge. Yeah, buddy. This certifies this new instrument has passed Sweetheart's 55-point inspection and is ready to play. Do you see what I see? It says it is ready to play. I'm hiding the dude's name. The dude that can't count. Ready to play. My butthole it is. Anyhow, there's all those great, wonderful things. And inside of here is an instruction booklet, some reference to the B-bender, the strap locks that I finally got to work in half, etc. So I just figured we'd show that, throwing it in here, because at this juncture, in this twilight zone in which I'm at, I believe anything I see. Now we're going to pack this thing up. I'll see you in a minute. Oh yeah, I have tuned it down to where it was. I've set the B-bender back to where it was, just like they sent it. Be right back. What you think, boy? What you think, huh? Come here. Aw, he's such a sweet boy. He's so well-mannered. He's such a fine fellow. Welcome back to Love Child Reviews, where we're going to be part 2 of the Brent Mason Telecaster Sweetwater edition, unboxing, unveiling, and etc. What do you think, Elmer? You can't wait, huh, buddy? Let's go see your girlfriend. Let's go. Huh? All right, buddy. All right there, friends and family. Let's see if I can get you in the right perception here. I think that's good enough. You want to go a little click closer? All right, here we are. This comes the awe-inspiring packaging time. Now, the little doodad that looks like this on the bottom is already in the box. So I'm going to show you how to package a guitar. When you get a setup to remember, you got to remember how to set set up the packaging process. So the little doodad is in the bottom, and we're gonna doodad it right there till it fits in the hole. If that don't work, there we go. And then we're gonna take the little hat. Remember the little hat that come out? Well, we're gonna take the hat. We're gonna put the hat right there. Now, I'm gonna grab some tape. I'll be right back. You know, the thing I think I enjoy the most about this process like this with these major companies is somebody someday needs to buy me a roll of tape. You know, that would hook her brother up. And then, of course, I got to drive to one of the fancy UPS places and drop this off using my Joe Biden jet fuel in the Buick Roadmaster or something that I own. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and tape this box back up just like a good boy should. Alright, it took a little struggle, but I got the tape started. Got some on me. Got one piece on the box. And I figure I'm better off to prove that I taped this thing in the process of the taping, because right now I'm not the usual jovial love child that I usually am, because today's one of them days where this is starting to get on my nerves. How you spend a buttload of money to have to turn around and waste $2 worth of tape, have to turn around and spend $10 worth of gas at least to drive halfway across the county to to fix somebody else's mistake. How you're going to have to sit or wait around for God knows how long till you get the thing back. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of got a domino effect on my brain today. So I said I'd be honest and real with you on this video, and I'm there, dude. I'm making it happen right now. So it's a whole bunch of tape across the top, and better take that off so somebody don't get confused and send it back to me. There's a bunch of tape across the top, sideways. Now let's go long ways. I mean, this is fun. I don't know about you. Anytime I can spend thousands of dollars. You know, my granddaddy used to say, don't chew your tobacco twice. Shoot, man. I ain't even chewing my own tobacco. I'm chewing somebody else's tobacco today. And I don't like the taste in my mouth. Now, sorry about all the drama. You could fast forward it if you wish. But right now, I'm just not, let's just say, I don't feel like speaking in tongues, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, such is the life of a love child. When you're a sweetheart like me, you know, it happens. So we're ready to go to the UPS. Be about $15 worth of gas away, $5 worth of tape, and 2 hours worth of labor lost, just so we can be kind and give somebody another chance to do whatever it is. Well,